I want to start with a question. How many of you have ever had a dream so big, so bold, that it scared you just to even say it out loud? Now, let me tell you something. Dreams don't work unless you do. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, not when you feel like it. They only work when you show up every single day. Because here's the truth. Talent will fail you. Motivation will fade. But discipline, showing up, even when it's hard, even when nobody's watching, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And today, I'm here to tell you why showing up every single day isn't just an action, it's a declaration. A declaration that your life matters, your dream matters, and you, my friend, are not backing down. When we talk about success, so often people focus on talent. They look at the gifted, the naturally skilled, the prodigies, and they think to themselves, if only I had what they had, I'd be unstoppable. But here's the hard truth that many don't want to admit. Talent alone is never enough. Talent can open doors, yes, but it won't keep you in the room. Talent can give you a head start, but it won't carry you across the finish line. What separates the people who succeed from the people who plateau, who fade into mediocrity, is something much simpler, yet much more powerful: consistency. Showing up again and again, regardless of circumstances, energy, or mood. Consistency beats talent every single time. Think about the athletes at the very top of their game. You might watch a basketball player on television, seemingly effortless, making shots that appear almost magical. You assume that they were just born with that skill. But behind the scenes, there are thousands of hours spent in the gym practicing shots over and over, running drills, conditioning their bodies, and refining techniques that most people will never see. Talent might have given them a starting point, but it is the relentless consistency, the day in, day out commitment to showing up that makes them great. Without consistency, talent stagnates. Without consistency, even the most natural gifts can fade. Consistency is not about flashy wins or overnight results. It's not about moments of brilliance that make people stop and stare. It's about discipline, about the willingness to do the work even when no one is watching, even when it's inconvenient, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up every morning and choosing to take the next step towards your goal, no matter how small that step may seem. It's practicing your craft relentlessly, learning, improving, failing, and getting back up again. This is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Talent may get noticed initially, but it is consistency that earns respect, builds reputation, and ultimately creates lasting impact. Look at the world around you. The most successful entrepreneurs, the most respected leaders, the people whose names we remember, are rarely just the talented ones. They are the ones who showed up when others stayed home. They are the ones who wrote one more page, made one more call, stayed one more hour, and continued to take action when the excitement faded and the initial motivation wore off. Talent without consistency is like a car without fuel. It may have a sleek body and impressive potential, but it won't move forward. Consistency is the fuel. Consistency is the engine. And when you combine talent with consistency, you create unstoppable momentum. Consistency is also deeply tied to trust. When you show up every day, people begin to rely on you. Opportunities come your way because others know that you are dependable, committed, and resilient. This is something that talent alone cannot buy. Talent may impress someone once, but consistency earns long-term credibility. It sends a message to the universe and to yourself: I am serious about my goals. I am committed to my growth. I will not quit when it's hard. I will not disappear when no one is watching. And the universe responds to that. Doors open, opportunities present themselves, and momentum builds in a way that raw talent alone cannot create. Another crucial point about consistency is how it compounds over time. Talent might allow someone to achieve a few big wins early on, but those wins are often unsustainable if they don't continue showing up. Consistency, however, compounds. Every day that you show up, you get a little stronger, a little smarter, a little closer to your goal. The effects of consistent action may seem invisible at first, almost boring, but over time they become unstoppable. It's like planting seeds in a garden. You water them a little each day, even when you don't see immediate growth. And eventually, one day, the fruits of your labor explode into a harvest that surprises even you. Talent might give you a few ripe fruits early, but it is consistency that sustains the garden for a lifetime. Consistency also builds resilience. Showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, trains your mind and your spirit. It teaches you that discomfort is not a signal to quit. It is a signal that you are growing. Every day that you push through fatigue, frustration, fear, or doubt, you strengthen your capacity to handle bigger challenges. Talent alone will never prepare you for the trials and obstacles that life throws at you. Consistency is what builds the mental and emotional stamina to persevere when the road gets tough, when critics doubt you, or when success seems impossibly far away. And here's another thing. Consistency creates confidence. When you know that you are committed to showing up, that you are willing to do the work no matter what, you develop an unshakable self-belief. You no longer rely on external validation or fleeting inspiration. You know your success is inevitable because you are willing to do the work day after day. Talent might make you feel gifted, but it doesn't guarantee belief in yourself. Consistency builds that belief. Consistency gives you proof that you can trust yourself. And once you trust yourself, nothing can stop you. Finally, we must acknowledge the simple truth that life is unpredictable. Talent may be recognized or ignored depending on circumstance, timing, or luck. Consistency, however, is always within your control. You cannot always choose opportunity, recognition, or favorable conditions, but you can choose to show up. You can choose to do the work, to practice, to learn, to improve. And over time, those choices accumulate into results that are inevitable because consistent effort is a law of life. It cannot be escaped. Talent alone is passive. Consistency is active. It is a commitment to action, a pledge to yourself that you will not leave your dreams to chance. So if you want to succeed, if you want to create lasting impact, meaningful results, and a life that truly matters, then stop relying solely on talent. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal opportunity. Stop thinking that being gifted is enough. Instead, commit to showing up. Commit to doing the work every single day. Commit to being consistent, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody is watching, because at the end of the day, consistency beats talent every time. And if you can master the art of showing up consistently, you will not only achieve your goals, you will surpass them in ways you never imagined. Consistency is the quiet force behind every great success story. It is the reason ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. It is the bridge between dreams and reality, between who you are today and who you are meant to become. Talent may open doors, but consistency walks you through them, carries you across the threshold, and ensures that you don't just pass by opportunity, you claim it. So show up again and again, every day, because that's how legends are made. We live in a culture obsessed with big wins, instant results, and overnight success. Everywhere you look, someone is selling the idea that you can skip the hard work, bypass the grind, and achieve greatness with one bold move or one perfect moment. But the truth, the real unshakable truth, is that lasting success doesn't come from one dramatic action. It comes from what you do every single small daily actions, seemingly insignificant at the moment, are what compound into massive results over time. And yet, so many people underestimate their power. They think, what difference does one day make? Or I'll start tomorrow. It's just one day. But those tiny decisions, those small actions repeated consistently are the building blocks of your destiny. Compounding is one of life's most profound forces, and it works in ways that are often invisible until the results are undeniable. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't see a tree sprout overnight. You water it, give it sunlight, protect it from pests, and day after day you care for it. At first, the growth is almost imperceptible. Weeks pass, then months, and suddenly, without warning, you have a towering tree with roots deep and branches reaching high into the sky. That's what small daily actions do in your life. Every choice you make, every habit you build, every tiny effort you put in adds to a compounding effect. And the beautiful part, the earlier you start, the more powerful the effect becomes. Let's take an example in the world of finance. If someone invests a small amount of money consistently, month after month, year after year, the interest earned compounds. What starts as a modest sum grows exponentially over time. The same principle applies to your personal and professional life. A small action toward your goals today might feel meaningless, but repeated consistently, it transforms into something monumental. Reading 5 pages of a book a day may seem trivial, but over a year, that's enough to finish dozens of books. Writing 1 paragraph a day may feel inconsequential, but over time, it builds into a manuscript, a publication, a legacy. The secret is not the individual action, it's the repetition. It's the compounding effect of showing up. This principle applies to habits too. Habits are small actions repeated consistently until they become automatic, and habits are the invisible architects of your life. Whether you're building habits of exercise, study, prayer, mindfulness, or skill development, the results won't appear overnight. They accumulate quietly, invisibly, until one day you realize that you're no longer the person you were. The skills you've acquired have multiplied, and the progress you've made far exceeds your expectations. This is why small daily actions matter more than grand gestures. You don't need one epic day to change your life. You need a series of consistent days. Consider the way successful people think. They don't chase one-time miracles. They embrace the process, understanding that mastery is the result of repetition, focus, and incremental improvement. A musician doesn't become extraordinary by playing one great concert. They become extraordinary by practicing scales, chords, and techniques every day. A writer doesn't become a best-selling author by writing one viral piece. They become an author by showing up at their desk day after day, polishing their craft, sentence by sentence. A business owner doesn't build an empire through a single breakthrough. They build it through consistent effort, repeated actions, and deliberate daily decisions that align with their long-term vision. Small actions might seem tedious or unglamorous, but they are the foundation upon which greatness is built. Another critical element of this principle is patience. Most people quit before the compounding effect has a chance to work. They want immediate proof of progress, and when results are slow, they give up. But those who understand compounding know that success is often delayed. It requires faith in the process and persistence in the face of invisibility. Every small action you take today is like making a deposit into an account of progress. You may not see the growth immediately, but if you keep making deposits, the account will eventually explode with returns. This is the quiet power of compounding. Small steps, repeated consistently, become unstoppable momentum. There's also a psychological component to small daily actions. When you take action every day, no matter how small, you build self-trust. You tell yourself, I am capable, I am committed, I can follow through. That trust in yourself compounds too. Over time, your confidence grows, and you become someone who doesn't just dream about results, but takes the necessary steps to achieve them. In contrast, neglecting daily action erodes your self-trust. You begin to doubt your ability to achieve anything significant because you haven't shown up for yourself consistently. The small actions you take or don't take today determine the trajectory of your future confidence and success. Let's also talk about momentum. Small daily actions create momentum that can carry you through challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. Momentum is like gravity for success. It pulls you forward even when the path gets tough. When you're consistent with your actions, you're building a chain reaction. One small win leads to another. One good habit reinforces another. One positive decision strengthens your discipline. Before you know it, you're moving faster, achieving more, and the results seem to accelerate. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable, all because you embrace the compounding power of small daily actions. And it's important to remember that compounding works in both directions. Just as small daily actions can compound into massive success, neglecting small daily actions can compound into failure. Skipping one day might not seem like a big deal, but skip enough days and the effect is catastrophic. This is why discipline matters. Every choice matters. Every small action, every habit, every decision accumulates whether you like it or not. You are either compounding toward your dreams or compounding toward disappointment, and it all begins with the small actions you take today. Another way to look at this is through the lens of opportunity. Opportunities often come to those who have shown up consistently. When you take small daily actions, you are positioning yourself to recognize and seize opportunities when they appear. You are building skills, knowledge, and resilience that prepare you for moments that others might miss. Compounding isn't just about internal growth, it's about creating external alignment with the opportunities that life presents. By showing up every day, by taking small, deliberate actions, you make yourself ready to receive the rewards when timing, luck, and preparation intersect. Ultimately, the lesson is clear. Don't underestimate the power of the small. Don't wait for a big breakthrough to start taking action. Don't measure your progress only by immediate results. Instead, commit to showing up every day, even in small ways, knowing that each action is a seed. Water that seed consistently. Nurture it. Trust the process. Over time, the compounding effect will create results far beyond what you ever imagined. This is how empires are built, how dreams are realized, and how ordinary people become extraordinary. Success is not a single moment of brilliance. It is the sum of tiny actions repeated faithfully over time. Small daily actions compound into massive results. And when you embrace that truth, when you commit to showing up consistently, when you understand that every little choice matters, you unlock the most powerful force in your life, the power of compounding. It doesn't just change your results, it transforms who you are, what you believe is possible, and the life you are capable of living. When we talk about success, most people think about results. They focus on the grades, the promotions, the money, the awards, the recognition, the applause. And yes, those things are tangible, measurable, and exciting. But here's a truth that's often overlooked. Success is never just about outcomes. Success is about who you become in the process of pursuing those outcomes. Showing up every single day is not just a tool to achieve more. It is a crucible that forges your character, shapes your integrity, and molds your identity. The person who shows up consistently is different from the person who only shows up when it's convenient. And it is that difference, the character that is built, strengthened, and tested through consistent action, that ultimately determines not only the quality of your results, but the quality of your life. Character is developed in the invisible moments. It's in the mornings when the alarm goes off and you don't feel like getting out of bed, but you do anyway. It's in the nights when everyone else has gone home and the work is hard, tedious, and exhausting, but you stay focused. It's in the tiny decisions that nobody sees. When you choose discipline over convenience, effort over comfort, integrity over shortcuts, These moments, repeated over time, build who you are. Showing up is not about proving anything to the world. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about saying, I am reliable. I am committed. I honor my word even when it's difficult. That is the essence of character. Think about the people you admire the most, the leaders, the mentors, the people who seem unstoppable. Rarely are they just talented or lucky. What makes them remarkable is their consistency, their reliability, their integrity. They show up when it's hard. They show up when it's inconvenient. They show up even when no one is watching. And through that process, they become people of substance. They develop patience, resilience, and a sense of responsibility. They learn to handle disappointment with grace, setbacks with determination, and criticism with humility. Showing up builds those qualities in a way that results alone never could. It's also important to recognize that showing up builds trust both in yourself and in others. When you consistently follow through, people learn to rely on you. They know that if you say you'll do something, it will get done. But more importantly, you learn to trust yourself. You learn that you can depend on your own commitment, your own discipline, your own effort. That self-trust is priceless. It is what allows you to take bigger risks, face bigger challenges, and pursue bigger dreams, because you know deep down that you are capable of showing up and handling whatever comes your way. Talent might give you confidence temporarily, but consistent action builds unshakable self-trust, the kind that carries you through failure, rejection, and adversity. Showing up also strengthens resilience. Life is not smooth. It is full of obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments. Talent might get you a head start, but it will not protect you from the trials of life. Only the habits, discipline, and character you build by showing up can sustain you. Each time you push through resistance, each time you continue despite fear or fatigue, you are strengthening your capacity to endure. You are developing the mental toughness that allows you to face bigger challenges without giving up. Character, after all, is forged in adversity. And showing up consistently is how you walk through fire without being consumed. Another aspect of character development through showing up is humility. When you show up every day, you are reminded that greatness is not a one-time event. It's a process. You learn that mastery, achievement, and impact require patience, effort, and persistence. This teaches you humility because you understand that your gifts alone are not enough. You understand that the journey is as important as the destination. You learn to respect the process, the people who came before you, and the lessons embedded in struggle and effort. And humility is one of the most underrated aspects of character. It allows you to learn, to grow, and to connect authentically with others. Showing up consistently also builds discipline. Discipline is the backbone of character. It is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It is the choice to prioritize long-term goals over short-term comfort. And the beauty of discipline is that it compounds over time. Every time you show up, every time you stick to your commitment, you strengthen your discipline muscle. And just like a physical muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. With strong discipline, you are no longer at the mercy of your moods or emotions. You are guided by your principles, your values, and your commitment to yourself. That is the essence of character. The ability to act consistently with integrity regardless of circumstance. Character built through showing up also shapes your legacy. The outcomes of your work, the money, the accolades, the success are temporary. They can be taken away, lost, or forgotten. But character endures. The person you become through consistent action leaves a lasting imprint on those around you. You influence people not just by what you accomplish, but by who you are in the process. You inspire others through your commitment, your reliability, your resilience, and your integrity. You teach by example that showing up matters more than talent, more than recognition, more than applause. Character is the mark you leave on the world that cannot be erased. Moreover, showing up builds courage. Every time you face fear, uncertainty, or self-doubt and decide to act anyway, you are strengthening your courage. And courage is a cornerstone of character. It allows you to confront challenges that seem insurmountable, to speak your truth even when it's unpopular, and to pursue your goals even when the odds are stacked against you. Talent alone does not create courage. Recognition alone does not create courage. Consistent action in the face of difficulty is what builds the bravery necessary to live a meaningful, impactful life. It's also worth noting that showing up cultivates accountability. When you commit to showing up consistently, you are accountable to yourself first. You learn to honor your promises, to keep your word, and to take responsibility for your actions. This accountability is not punitive, it is empowering. It gives you control over your life, your choices, and your destiny. It teaches you that your life is not determined by external circumstances, but by the internal decisions you make every single day. Character is the result of living in alignment with your values, and showing up consistently is how that alignment is maintained and strengthened. Finally, showing up every day reminds you that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Character is built over time through repeated choices, through persistence, and through commitment. The person you become is not defined by a single achievement or a momentary victory. It is defined by the daily decisions to show up, to do the work, to honor your commitments, and to act with integrity. Every time you show up, you are choosing growth over comfort, action over procrastination, and principle over convenience. And over time, those choices accumulate into a life of purpose, impact, and meaning. So understand this clearly. Showing up is not just about achieving results. It is about becoming a person of character. It is about developing resilience, discipline, courage, humility, and accountability. It is about building self-trust, earning the trust of others, and creating a lasting legacy. The results you achieve will come and go, but the person you become by showing up every day will define the trajectory of your life. Character, not outcomes, is the ultimate measure of success, and showing up consistently is how it is forged. If you commit to showing up every day, no matter the circumstances, you are investing in the most valuable asset you will ever have, yourself. You are declaring that you are serious about your growth, your purpose, and your impact. You are building a foundation that no setback can shake, no failure can destroy, and no external force can undermine. And when you look back on your life, you will realize that the true victories were not the results you achieved, but the person you became along the way. Showing up builds character. It shapes who you are. And ultimately, it is the character you build that will carry you further, higher, and deeper than any outcome ever could. So now, let me bring it all home for you. We've talked about consistency beating talent every time, about how small daily actions compound into massive results, and about how showing up builds character, not just outcomes. But all of these lessons have one unshakable truth at their core. The most important choice you will ever make is the choice to show up. Showing up is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel good. It isn't always easy, but it is the one thing that separates those who dream from those who do. It is the difference between wishing for a better life and actually creating it. Every time you show up, you are planting a seed. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you are investing in your future. Every time you honor your commitment to yourself, you are building character, resilience, and momentum that no one and nothing can take away from you. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to start at the top. You just have to start. You just have to show up, because showing up consistently, even when it's hard, creates a ripple effect that transforms your life. It builds trust. It creates opportunity. It develops your skills, and it shapes the person you are becoming into someone unstoppable. So I challenge you today, stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Start where you are. Start now. Show up for yourself. Show up for your dreams. Show up for the people who are counting on you, even if they don't know it yet. Because the person who shows up every single day is the person who eventually wins. The person who shows up every single day is the person who leaves a legacy. The person who shows up every single day becomes unstoppable. Remember this: talent will only take you so far. Small actions compound into results you can't imagine. And showing up builds a character that can handle any challenge life throws at you. So no matter what happens tomorrow, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how many doubts try to creep in, make this decision once and for all. I will show up every day. No excuses, no compromises. Because my dreams are worth it. My life is worth it. And I am worth it. And when you do that, when you commit to showing up every single day, you will not just change your life, you will transform it. You will inspire those around you. You will create results that matter. You will build a character that lasts. And most importantly, you will discover the incredible power that lives inside you. The power to show up, the power to persevere, and the power to become the person you were born to be. So show up today, tomorrow, every single day, because your life depends on it, your dreams depend on it, and the world needs the unique gift that only you can bring.